Anyway, Kathy, our guest is in studio.
Yeah, Phil Stagg. It's awesome because I know a few years ago, my son went to Michigan Tech, and so I spent 4 years trying to see all the waterfalls in the Keweenaw. And they had like some brochures and things, but you're right, it was difficult. That would have been very helpful to have. And that's what's in your book, I think, in your books, yes, right?
Yeah, detailed maps, lots of information, yes.
So I know you brought one of your books with you
today.
I did,
yep.
And we also have a picture of it, I think,
one
too.
of them, right. I don't know how we see this, but
yeah,
we're on there.
Just hold that up, you're on it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
That one.
So this is my best of book here, and it is full of, you can see all the different counties and then waterfalls throughout. It's all color-coded by county alphabetically.
Okay.
And
cool.
There are 202 waterfalls in this particular 202 of the best and the easiest of Michigan's waterfalls.
Okay.
And the full set, you can see on the back, there are 4 different books to cover all the regions of Michigan.
Okay.
That set has around 600 waterfalls within the full set. And so this book is just a great overview book. It's been very popular, especially downstate.
You have a training session or a presentation to do for the Antrim County Photography Club.
Right, that's going to be Thursday evening, and looking forward to that. I think it's at 6:30 at the Alden
Library.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Yes.
just go right into Alden. Coming from the south, as you go into Alden, you just go straight. You don't. Those of you who know Alden, the road curves to the left, but you just go straight, and it's up
by
on the
Helena
right.
Township Hall.
Yeah,
Going
it
up
is.
There. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
All right. What I always tell friends if they go to a small town, how do I get there? Just stop and ask somebody.
Yeah, right.
Right.
They'll know.
Yeah, it should be great. That's a nice group. of people.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be wonderful. And I speak all over the state and go to a lot of libraries and camera clubs and churches, things like that, and do presentations.
Really
Yeah, so it'll be a great time Thursday evening, being able to look at the different waterfalls that we have. It'll be a slideshow presentation showing many of the waterfalls, certainly not all of them, but a nice selection, and what they look like, and then how to get there when people have questions. And so we'll go through a lot of information.
We do have a few of your photos. If you want to, just right now, tell us a little bit about what they are.
I don't remember what I sent you, but we can take a look at these.
Oh,
right.
You'll recognize them.
I'm sure.
All right. So there's this one.
Yes, so that is Jumbo Falls on the Jumbo River at the northern end of Iron County. And it's a fairly easily accessible waterfall. And I took that particular photo back in October of, I don't know, several years ago.
Right.
And it's an easy waterfall to get to, so it really is a fun one to explore. And nice little trail from the trailhead's not that long. I think maybe 150 yards.
Is that you in the picture?
That's me there, yes.
You know what? The beautiful fall colors.
Yeah.
I'm sure that all seasons provide a different look, different portrait, if you will, whether it be flowering in the spring or whatever. That's neat.
Yes, yeah. And so I try to grab different seasons because of that very reason. Every time you go, it looks different.
Yeah.
And I like how you're color coordinated.
Yeah.
I don't know if you planned
Yes,
that.
indeed, actually, yeah. No, I didn't really plan it, but that worked out well.
Sort of camouflage.
Yeah.
This one right here is my favorite. I don't know why.
Scott Falls, right on M28. In fact, the road is right there on the left-hand side. You can see where it's a kind of flat area there. That's M28, just outside of Munising.
Yep.
Between Christmas and our train.
I've seen that. I've stopped, and my photos that I took of it were nothing. I wouldn't even recognize it. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a wonderful waterfall.
Yeah.
And a fun one. The kids love to play there because there's a small cave behind it.
Oh,
wow,
that's fun.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day with the Tequamanon Falls. This was back in the 80s that you could climb in behind them.
Yeah.
I don't think they allow that anymore.
They don't do that anymore, no.
That was interesting.
And this is actually part of the lower Tequamanon Falls, taken from the island, that particular picture.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, lovely place.
We have to take Norm up there. I didn't realize hadn't been up to those.
No.
And then this is another one of my favorites.
This one's a little bit further away. This is called Pinnacle Falls, and not nearly as accessible. It helps a lot with the map that I have because there are a lot of 2 tracks, and you have to know when to turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left.
Really essential, yeah.
And
Go ahead.
so it's in Marquette County, up as you're headed from Marquette up to Big Bay. Then you have to head a bit inland and going down AAA Road, which used to be a really old dirt road, but then the mine was put in out there, and so now it's more like a super highway for part of the way. And then you have to know where to turn off onto the dirt roads and 2 tracks.
Were those largely copper mines?
It is not. It's mostly a nickel mine, I believe.
Oh, I
But
see.
they have some other minerals as well that they pull out of the ground there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not as big as it
The
used
copper's
to be.
further west.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then,
And yeah, Bond Falls, very very popular waterfall. More popular on the western end of the UP because that's where it is, over in Ontonagon County.
okay.
And so
By
a lot
that-
of people from Wisconsin are more familiar with Bond than they are Tequamanen. Here downstate Michigan, we're more familiar with Tequamanen Falls because it is much closer to us here.
So this is that close to or in Porcupine?
No, this would be southeast of Porcupine Mountains.
Okay.
But it's a very easily accessible waterfall. The DNR run it. And so they have a beautiful boardwalk. In fact, this photo was taken from the boardwalk. That boardwalk wraps all the way around the base of the waterfall, so it's a very large boardwalk.
And I have to say, this was another one of my favorites. It was hard to pick a favorite out of these photos, let me tell you. I'll have to go check that one out, too. And then
There I am, and I'm on the Silver River at that point. That's in Baraga County, and that's how I work on doing my field notes. I just sit down and write in my little notebook that I have information about the waterfalls. One of the reasons that I'm a photographer is because I don't have a visual memory, so I can't remember what things look like. Like even right now in my mind, I can't picture my wife or my kids or anything. It's just really, it's kind of sad.
Well, that is.
So it's like I
never
live in
heard
the
of that.
present. I don't have a past. It's kind of a strange thing. So I love to photograph things because at least then I have a sense of history. And I want to take the best photo that I can so that I can remember what things look like in a nice sense.
And being a photographer myself, I know that waterfalls are very difficult to take a good photo of.
Well,
So-
I guess anymore I don't feel that way. I've done enough of it, I suppose.
I come into your class, we find out more about it.
There
but,
you go. Yeah.
You know, because I'm impressed.
Why do you, Kathy? Why do you say that? I mean, I'm not really sure.
Well, they're moving, you got to get the right angle for the light, and then they're moving. So do you want to, stop the movement? Maybe Phil can even tell more.
Yeah, and I don't stop the movement. You'll notice in my photos that you're going to see the long exposure, silky looked.
You don't touch yourself at all.
Touch
Your
it up.
photos.
I
Photoshop.
I don't Photoshop, but I process everything in Lightroom. I use Adobe Lightroom to process my photos.
Kathy.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I mean, you had a correction that I wanted you to make.
Yeah, well, anyway, what he's saying, you have to adjust the lighting and everything. But
Oh, I
what
see.
I'm talking about is when you take the photo, how do you do it? So he lets it be a longer exposure so that you get the flow. And that's my wonder, do I do that or do I want to stop it, do a short, so you can kind of see the droplets, and so they're...
Your thoughts on that?
Well, as you can see, I like to have the long exposure, the silky look, as opposed to fast shutter speeds. And so because of the fact that I like to photograph my waterfalls when it's overcast, or preferably right after a light rain, so that all the leaves are saturated, beautiful colors.
Oh, yeah.
And then everything I use, all of my photos are with a circular polarizer.
Oh, nice.
Because that knocks down the glare and the shine off the rocks and the wet surfaces.
And it makes it more vivid, the color. And
Very
everything.
much so, yes.
Cool. So there's another one I like a lot.
Yeah, this is Root Beer Falls. This is found out in Wakefield.
How did it get its name?
Well, the tannic acid kind of brought that out. So yeah, the tannins in the water give it that root beer color. Some people call Tequamanen Falls root beer falls. I'd never heard that, but after going to doing these presentations, I've had a number of people say, yeah, we always called Tequamanen Falls root beer falls. And I said, well, actually, you shouldn't do that because there is a waterfall that is called root beer falls, but it's much further west.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I noticed that when I've gone to Tequamanen that they are brown. So.
Yeah. So a lot of people think this is Tequamanen Falls, but it's
I was
not.
wondering.
Yeah, this is Manabizo Falls, and it's on the Presque Isle River over in the Porcupine Mountains, at the western end of the Porkies. And it's a gorgeous set of waterfalls on this river. If you've never been there, you have to go. This is the next to the lowest waterfall in that stretch. And there's a nice boardwalk that runs all along the river. You got to be able to handle steps because there are a number of steps to get from one waterfall to the other. But Manabizo, Manido, Nawadaha, and then the Presque Isle Kettles are a little bit further downstream from this one.
I visited those like about 30 years ago, and it seemed to me there was like a high walkway too, or is that the one?
That is probably what you're thinking of.
Yeah,
yes,
that I
right.
remember that
Because it's in a gorge.
A little
Yeah.
off the beaten path. I've talked to people who feel very different when they're in touch with nature. Describe that.
Feel very different. Just being able to say, wow, this is a neat experience to be out inside. Yeah. Yeah. It's a wonderful thing to be out there in not a man-made place. We're so used to being on concrete,
neat
inside
architecture.
Exactly. And instead, here you're out in creation. You're seeing stuff that has just been, it's been made, but not by people, and it's so cool to see.
Yeah.
And I just love it. I just love it.
Totally
what
off
a
the
job.
beaten path, but I'm the king of getting off on tangents. I would watch the Blue Angels jets, and then I would watch birds and be actually a little bit more in awe of the birds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was natural, and what they can do, we can only imitate.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. We try. Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. So.
Oh, this is a more rare waterfall. I say rare as in not as many people have experienced it. There's no trail to this waterfall. This is on the the upper reaches of the Silver River, and this would be Herman Falls. You have to hike a ways to get out to this one, and but there are a number of waterfalls on this stretch of the river.
Where is that near?
This is in Baraga County.
Okay.
Near the little
in the UP
place of Herman. Yeah, this is all UP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is all UP. You're only going to see Akiak Falls downstate. Recently, I did photograph another waterfall way downstate, down near the St. Joe River in Berrien County, and it's called Bear Cave Falls. It's in an RV park, and it's a narrow little stream, but it's like a 12-foot drop. It just drops off the edge of a cliff, and come to find out, there's a pool behind it. There's a cave series behind it, about 150 feet long, and you go through a gift shop, and you can go underground and see the cave.
Yeah.
Wow, fun.
Well, and the cave was actually used back in the Civil War as one of the stops on the Underground Railroad. Because there's a secret cave. You have to go through a pool, under the rock, come up into another cave. And so when the owners recently found Civil War relics in there and discovered it was part of the Underground Railroad.
Cool.
Do you share some of that information, that history in your book?
Well, that's a new one, so it's not in the books, but it will be in an upcoming edition.
That's the type of thing that you would share.
Oh, definitely.
You're
Yes.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, Agate Falls, another one of Michigan's wonderful waterfalls. It's a gorgeous one. This is in Ontonagon County, and it's downstream from Bond Falls. You can see the trestle overhead. There used to be a railroad trestle, and the railroad is no longer there, but now you can take ATVs over it or snowmobiles in the winter, or you can just hike up to it. I've taken pictures from up there as well.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, beautiful waterfall.
Old trestles are beautiful.
Yeah. Another shot at Tequamanen.
Okay.
I took that one I think it was last year.
Wow.
And actually, I was sick while I was taking that picture. I had lost my voice. I could hardly talk. And the next morning, I had to go to the ER. And I had a terrible infection at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful photo,
Yeah.
though. Oh
But
my
my
gosh,
camera
the
was still
lighting,
working, even though I wasn't.
It's the lighting and everything. Oh my gosh, that's great. It's wonderful. And I think this is the last
And another
one we
shot of
have.
Bond Falls. I guess I put in a couple of those.
Or maybe did I put it in twice?
No, that's a different one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. But that's another shot of Bond.
Sure. So, Andy, those are.
So that's just a little taste of what we have. Yeah.
And just wanted to remind that we're Phil Stagg that we're speaking with, and he is a local Cadillac area is where he lives. Photographer who takes photos of waterfalls and writes books about, such as this one, about has photos of them and how to get to them, and has how many books now?
There are 5 books.
5 books.
Right.
So, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this.
You know, I always ask, how do you get a copy of the book? What's easiest? Can you do direct sales?
Yes, you can go to my website, myfalls.com, like Michigan, MIFalls.com.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you said
Or, yes, right, like Michigan. Or they're available all throughout the state in gift shops and bookstores, and I really like being able to support our local businesses, so I really appreciate people being able to go there and pick them up. But I do have them available on my website as well, so that people from out of state can get them also, and I ship them all over the country.
Sure.
Yeah.
Makes a great gift.
Yeah.
What a neat thing. So how is this evolving? You mentioned the book coming up, talking more about the history of the pictures that you take at the locations. Are they getting more and more successful? What do you see there? I know this is an art. It's not about commerce, but how are you doing?
You mean as far as the books go?
Yeah.
Oh, we've sold thousands and thousands. I think 10, 12,000 books so far.
Wonderful.
And I'm about ready to reprint one of them because I'm running low. So and spring's coming when all the stores restock.
Oh,
That
nice.
would make sense to pick those up in the spring when we start going out there. But winter, do you take winter photos?
Oh yes, yeah.
There's some
You'll
other ones
find
in
you'll find winter shots in here.
Nice.
Again, with their own little,
Yeah.
uniqueness.
There's
Yeah, is what you can see
you
of
can see.
it.
Yeah, I don't know if we're in a good
Well,
spot there, but
look for the really white.
look for
right
white
there,
stuff.
you know.
Yeah,
Right
yeah. There's
there.
some. There's some.
That's not one we loaded.
You'll find some there.
Yep,
All right.
yep.
And Thursday night.
Thursday night, yeah, we'll be having a lot of fun and taking questions and
Yeah.
talking about how to take the photos if people are interested in that, but definitely being able to actually see the waterfalls. And it is a camera club event, so sometimes I'm able to do a little more technical talk
Right.
about the photography end of things compared to library presentations.
But the public is invited
Oh, sure. Yes,
to
definitely.
this also. So, yeah, it should be great. Now, I have a personal question. Have you been out in the Keweenaw much? I'm sure.
Well, we have a cabin in Lance, right at the base of the Keweenaw.
Oh, okay.
And so, yes, I have a lot of waterfalls.
They have a
in the
lot of neat
Keweenaw.
one. Yeah.
I need to put that on my bucket list because
wo-
you watch a map and the furthest north point.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
And then
right.
I know there was one I had to hike in to that was like one of the more impressive ones. It was just a little bit north of Houghton.
Maybe Hungarian.
Yes, Hungarian Falls.
Yeah. Hungarian, beautiful waterfall.
Well, you know
It
what
is.
they all are. Now, here's
yeah.
what you do. You get a tour bus.
Yeah,
Right?
I've been asked to do that actually.
I was
yes.
going to say I'm only half kidding.
No, yes, I have been asked to do that. Yeah.
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 That might be an idea.
It would be a lot of fun, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah.
If you make it a wine tour, who's going to argue? There seems to be wine tours
Everywhere,
that's
yeah.
So, good. Well, thanks for being with us. Good luck on Thursday. Do you want to play famous birthdays with us? All of our guests get to guess the age of the person who's having a birthday today who is famous.
Oh my goodness.
It's very embarrassing.
Well, I'm sure I will not do well, but
Well, nobody gets them exactly right unless they're having a birthday.
I'll be
on the
doing
same
good to
day.
even know the person.
Yeah. Well, that's
You'll
how
know
I
this
am.
one. You'll know this one.
Okay.
Kathy, why don't you go first to us?
Okay.
Singer Smokey Robinson in the second round of an inductees.
Oh, he was
of the
just
Rock and
on.
Roll Hall of Fame.
He was. We just saw
Oh,
him. Not him, but an actor playing him on The Temptations last night. Yeah, I'd say he's 72.
So then I got to go 74.
Okay, he's seen Price is Right. And he is right.
It is 74.
No,
Wow.
he's 78.
Oh, you're closer.
He was
Close enough.
closer than you. Here's a nice guy I've interviewed a lot of times. Never met him in person. Actor Jeff Daniels is having a birthday this 19th day of February, and
I'd say he's 59.
okay. I know what you're gonna do.
57.
Oh no!
I went the wrong way, eh?
You did.
I did.
63.
Oh, okay. Well, now we're even.
You know the list of movies that guy has been in. I'm gonna go ahead and ask this one just for fun, I guess. NFL commissioner, it may appeal to some people. Roger Goodell having a birthday today.
69. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, thinking too hard. I'm going to go
what?
70.
I was gonna say you ought to go younger or lower or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not. Well,
He's not
I
as
say
old
he's
as you
not
think.
that old. He's 58.
Oh
my
goodness.
gosh.
We were a
I
little
know,
off there,
right?
eh?
Yeah.
All right, I have 2 more here. Seal. The
Oh yeah,
Kiss from a Rose,
all I know is
etc.
him is he's married to
Heidi Klum was.
Heidi Klum. He was,
He
yeah.
was, yeah.
So 38.
40.
55.
There.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I was thinking of her, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
You know,
That's
when
it.
you said you weren't good at this game,
Right.
you were right.
I know.
Neither am I.
From Family Ties with Alex P. Keaton, Michael J. Fox, his co-star, Justin Bateman's sister is Justine Bateman, and she is how old today?
52.
45.
52 on the nose.
You got it.
And we close the show with Kathy being the winner.
All right. Good
Famous
job. Good job.
birthdays. She always knows that we're going to ask and talk about that. I'm surprised she doesn't look them up. I would.
Ooh.
I know. I think about how, because these people, when I hear about them on the news, I think about how old they are in comparison to me.
Right. I try to think of how long they've been around.
Yeah.
But the Roger Goodall at 58 was.
Well,
I'm
I
a
know.
little surprised,
I had no
yeah.
idea about him, so
Yeah.
I just
All
thought
right.
of him as an old. They always seem like old men.
Want to go ahead? Well, yeah, because, I mean, Commissioner, that's kind of a big deal. 40 degrees, some rain this afternoon, almost a guarantee. 36 on Tuesday, and we'll have a wintry mix. You're going to have to keep an eye on cloudy 29 on Wednesday. Thursday, 34 by next weekend. I know it's a long ways away, but we can always look. Mostly sunny and 44 on Saturday. So thank you for joining us on this, the 19th day of February, and we wish you a good day.
Thank you. Thanks for being on, Phil. Appreciate it very much.